Please welcome CIC Julius Malema.
Thank
you. How are you, King?
Good and you, good and you.
Are you good? Fresh from Ibiza? How was
Absolutely.
Ibiza?
It was sunny,
Yeah.
very nice.
Yeah?
Yeah, cool.
What was the reason for you going down there? Like,
Mazoti's daughter was getting married.
oh.
Yes. So I went to support him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was speaking to Lukao because he was with you.
Yes.
It's like, hey, Chief,
Yeah.
it's expensive, yeah. As
Yeah,
long as
yeah,
when
yeah,
you come
yeah.
in, you must come with Julius because he pays for everything.
Ah, never. I think the man who had money was Lekau there. We didn't have money.
What were you guys getting up to? Like, it looked
Well,
dope on
it
the
was
pictures.
so chilled. I went with my wife. We wake up, breakfast, then we just chill. There's
Yeah.
nothing to do.
Yeah.
And then on the day of formal programs, we'll go and attend. And the problem is that the sun set very late, around 9:30, 10.
Wow.
Yeah, so you stay until that late before you can make it like agrees now evening because
Yeah.
there's darkness.
Yeah.
Yeah, but by 12 you are tired.
Yeah.
And the young ones will go to clubs and
Yeah.
at 10 I will go sleep.
I saw there was a video of you DJing at some party there.
No, it was the pool party of the official wedding program.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was there, attended, and then we started fooling around.
Yeah. And how is the clubbing culture there? Because black coffee is massive.
I didn't go to any club activity. I went to some place, I can't remember whether it's a beach party or what, but it starts at 8 and finishes at 12. From there you jump to the next venue, the club opens.
Sure.
At 12. And I missed Euphonics set the other day. I missed Zexman Trini set because he will start playing at 3 or 4 and then it's a 2-hour set.
Sure.
So it finishes at 6 in the morning.
You.
Yeah, so I can't keep up.
Hey, man.
I wanted to go and support, but I can't.
Yeah, I'm dala manje.
Yeah. Otherwise, you must take 2 days off.
Yeah.
Lose 2 days.
How long does it take you to recover now? Because it takes me about 7 days if I had a rough night.
2 days.
2 days.
But yeah, rough means going beyond 12. So if I sleep before 12.
Did you ever encounter Buloy, like witchcraft?
No, I've never encountered because it doesn't exist.
You think it doesn't exist?
So if you wake up one day and find someone naked in your yard planting something, how would you justify that? Wouldn't you say that's buloy?
No,
because those things happen.
I would think she was lost.
And lost her clothes as well.
Yeah. I think she will be lost because let's take my great-grandmother, the mother of my mother I told you about. She will wake up to go to a bathroom outside. And then when she comes back, she doesn't know where she got out. She can't find the door. And then she starts pressing everywhere. And then we must be waking up. And if she succeeds to come in, she's going to wake you up trying to find a place where she was sleeping.
Yeah.
You'll just find a hand on your face. So before you know it, you say, no, this person is a witch. But no, this person is too old.
Yeah.
And they've lost direction. And you know, we had a case of witchcraft when we were growing up in politics where some person got lost. And then that one, he was so unfortunate. Then he was found in a house of a person who was killed by their child. That child stabbed the child of that house, and that child died. Subsequent, a year or two, then that other person gets found in that house. What do you want? I'm lost. But he got lost into a wrong house. You see? So it's a coincidence. He was legitimately lost. But, and then all conspiracies were made. We entered that house as comrades. Then they said, no, people turn into frogs. That's fine. Where are the frogs now? Who can't find the frogs? So coming, when you grow up, you realize that some of these things is just madness. It's boredom. We had very less activity.
But have you ever consulted a Sangoma?
My grandmother is a traditional healer.
Your grandmother?
Traditional healing and witchcraft are two different things. So witchcraft is when you are given a poison to go and poison someone and that person dies. That's witchcraft. And that is the science of it. Not this one that a person will use a broom to fly from here to the other place. That is boredom. But poisoning people, for whatever reason, it's witchcraft. So my grandmother was not giving medicine to go bewitch. It was medicine to heal. Because the earlier primitive society, before the arrival of the colonialist, used medicine, traditional medicine, to heal themselves. And today, many of those herbs are actually included in the so-called Western medicine. They use our herbs because they've come to appreciate that these herbs do help.
They've got Mpesu in vodka now.
Yeah, you see, they've got Mpesu in vodka. I don't know if Mpesu works, but there is Mpesu, because if Mpesu works, then those people who are doing rhino pouching.
Yes.
They say they want to use the horn for the same purpose of Mpesu. But research shows that there isn't anything that suggests this thing works for that purpose. But remember, the power is in the mind. If you think it works, you can get very hard. Very strong.
Very quick.
And then you are problem. You solved your problems. It's in the brain. Zuma didn't want me.
He didn't?
No. I think he had it in his blood that this guy is going to cause trouble. So when Zuma was consulted, and he said, no, they didn't say this one. They said Saki. So you guys are saying something else. Well, we got elected and we eventually accepted. But then he was drifting away from us and seeing us as a potential priorities.
So when do you break your virginity?
If anything, I don't think I can remember.
You don't remember? Everyone remembers their first time.
Was it teens, 20s?
We were very active when we were teens.
You've always been an activist.
We were very active. Because remember at grade 8, I would leave my township to go into other townships like Nkwankua, Toyando, to establish the structures of COSAS. COSAS, it was a student organization of the ANC at the time. So we're engaged in all types of shenanigans. As it were,
Vizcala. Vizcala.
There's no way. It's part of growing up. To deny that will be to deny a particular stage in your life. Yes.
Jeez, man. I think he was 13, 14. I'm getting those vibes.
At 14, you were the chairperson, right, of the youth league branch in Shisheko. Didn't you face challenges like leading people who are older than you? Because as a 19-year-old, I'm sure it's tough to listen to a 14-year-old.
And remember the Varam Club?
Yes.
In all the structures I've led people who were older than me. I don't know where I got the wisdom, but majority of the time, I was either the youngest or the second youngest. So the same thing when I became president of COSAS, when I became president of the Youth League, I led with people who were older. And at school, remember we went to school with very old people. People could go, leave school, go to work, raise some money, come back, and then pay for their own fees. And when you are older and strong, like this one is carrying weights, I become your friend. And I start telling you some ideas of how things can be done, and you're like, hey, this young man is proper. So from there, you're my bodyguard. You're not aware that no one can touch me because I've got this guy. And even when we say we're going on strike, the grade 12 will want to resist. You know, can't be told by these boys. So I'm going to call these old ones, or let's go and show them.
Yeah.
And then they come. Yeah. So it has always been my life. Yeah. Only now in the EFF do I come into contact with young people yes. that I'm older than.
Yeah. It's the first time I ever heard of you. And I'm like, who's this guy, man? He just shoots from the hip. He just tells it like it is. And I think for a lot of people, we started getting interested in politics because you were so entertaining. Was that did you do that on purpose, or was just that's who I am?
But that's what they say about you now. They say we must not come here. You are homophobic. You have no respect for women. You're going to ask me about sex, and I say to them, the question will never be a problem. The problem is the answer. It all lies in how you answer the question. But the question must be asked. It doesn't matter how comfortable or uncomfortable the question may be, but answer the question. So I was being like you. I was being youth. And being youth means you must not apologize. And being youth means that you've got a license to make mistakes.
Of course.
But learn from those mistakes and not repeat them, because if you repeat them, it's a decision. It's no longer a mistake. So young people must be free. And young people must never be judged. You guys have got too much energy that must be harnessed and channeled to the right direction. That's what we were doing in the youth league.
And you pushed the boundaries. And you pushed them.
And then when we arrived in parliament, we did the same thing. Yeah, we pushed the boundaries. They said their rules. We said, bring here. We read the rules. And then we realized these people don't know the rules. We need to push them. Every time they say, no, you are wrong. We say, according to which rule? They say to us, no, you can't say Malema. You must say Honorable Malema. Then we say, there's nothing honorable about this person. No, the rules say you must call each other honorable. They say, you're lying. Which rule? And then they go to read the rule. The rule says, you must not call each other by name. So meaning, you must say Mr., Miss, or Mrs. So they found white people calling each other honorable. Then they took it and then continued with it. They thought it was in the rules from 1994. It took the arrival of the EFF in parliament for those fools to know that we are not forced to call dishonorable people honorable. We have an alternative. With Ramaphosa now, we told them this guy is a greedy businessman. You can't have a businessman as a president. He's going to prioritize money over the interest. There he's sleeping on top of money.
I thought it was $1 billion. I thought it was only 60 million. It's $1 billion.
It's a lot of money.
They only stole 60 million, but there was $1 billion in there. They couldn't even take all of it. That's how much it was.
Let's take Eskom, for instance. There is absolutely nothing wrong with Eskom. You must make it dysfunctional before you sell it, so that everybody buys into the idea of you selling it. There was nothing wrong with SAA. There was an airline now recently privately owned. It collapsed. It failed. And then you are privatizing the SAA because you want to create an impression that when they are privately owned, they are successful. What about this privately owned one that has just collapsed? Which is a clear evidence that it's not true that when they are privately owned, they don't collapse. The job of SAA is not to make profit, by the way. Is to transport people. So it's a means of transport. So the state must subsidize it. The least SAA can do is to generate enough money to run it. It must not run at a loss. It must generate enough money, break even to run itself. Not to make profit and say, SAA has made a lot of profit. What profit for what? We don't want to make money out of SAA. It's an intervention of the state in that mode of transport, because if we don't, only white people will fly and the super rich. So we want you to also fly to Cape Town. Otherwise, you'll use train. So the state must subsidize that. And I've got a problem with you, the people of the middle class. When the state pays, you have a problem. Hi, we have been paying. We have been paying. The job of the state is to pay. That is his job.
Yeah.
There at my house, I pay. I can't one day complain, hey, I'm paying here. I'm paying. No, I pay. I can raise complaints, Urbana. These tinkies, I just bought 6 2 days ago. What happened? But no, they're finished. I must pay.
Yeah.
If I'm going to be a responsible father, I'm going to say, hey, I'm no longer paying. No more eating of tinkies.
Yeah.
They'll go and eat them next door and worship the people next door.
So why do you think this generation of politicians are so corrupt? Is it because they're not used to money?
No. It is because they are being corrupted by white people.
Is it?
Yeah, so because you people speak about corruption as if it's a black people's thing.
Yes, true.
It's a white man's thing. Why? Business, when you say business is corrupting government, you mean whites are corrupting black people because business is white.
Yes.
And then government is
It's
black.
Yeah.
And this government can't be corrupt with itself. It needs someone to be corrupt with.
Oh.
So it's corrupt with the business. And this business is white. But these whites never get arrested.
But what about the corruption where, like, for example, PPE money during COVID is child and there's no white business involved? It's money that, filtrates down from the government, from whatever international body that has loaned us. That doesn't involve private business.
No. There's a white person involved because none of you have got machines to do mask. You've got no machine to do mask. You go and take the mask from a white man. So the white man says, Hamilton and Love, go and get that tender, and then I'll print for you. Go and do it, and then I'll print for you. You can't do business in South Africa without any involvement of a white person.
Yeah.
No, not a single one. Not even the EFF can try and say, no, we were a party of black people, therefore we can do without whites. It's not possible. So the question we need to ask is, why do we see only these government people exposed and arrested? What is happening in the private sector? Because it's both the public and the private sector that are corrupting each other. But only the public gets arrested because it's easy for a black man to criticize, correctly so, another black man. You know why black people are scared of white people? It's not a joke. Even me. When I see a white person, my attitude changes. Like, we're traumatized people. Then my political conscience has to kick in. Don't try those things with me, man. But otherwise, the first reaction is we need to get ourselves.
Our accents change.
Yes. So I've got a white security guy. When he sees that there's going to be a problem there, and he's working from behind, he moves to the front. They're going to open.
Yeah.
And then I said to him, no, don't move to the front. Let this one go. You're going to find that guy still explaining where he was born and what. Black people were generally very scared of white people. Yeah. So that's why even now they are not talking about them.
Are you talking about the Stellenbosch mafia?
Very scared
of them, ne?
Very scared. Very, 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 very scared.
They essentially are running the country.
Yeah, it's theirs. It's theirs. None of us in this room woke up this morning without using something that comes from the rupees.
Yeah.
And the Oppenheimers own all the minerals because the Oppenheimers are the descendants of Rhodes. And Rhodes is the man who discovered these minerals. The Oppenheimers actually designed the political system of South Africa to an extent that they were themselves directly members of parliament of South Africa. So as and when the law changes to control the political dynamics and the landscape in South Africa, you must know, is sponsored by the Oppenheimers because they control the politics of South Africa.
So how did the Guptas get away with it?
They didn't get away with anything. They were trying. They were trying. It's more complex than that. It's not this thing of tenders.
Yes.
No.
Do you have any funders like the EFF? Does it have any funders who belong to the Stellenbosch Mafia?
No. We never got any money from any Stellenbosch Mafia. And our funding comes from Parliament and the IEC and the party levies that we collect from EFF public representatives. We've got more than 1,000 public representatives, MPLs, MPs, councillors, speakers, deputy mayors, and so on and so forth. So those people pay every month what we call a party levy, because a party must take care of itself.
Yeah.
If it can't, it will end up being available to the highest bidder. Yes.
How much does it cost to start a party? Like if I woke up tomorrow and I want to start a party.
It's very expensive.
Ne?
Yeah, it's very expensive.
How much? Billions?
If I fail now, I won't try it again. Well, it's not billions at a core.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you come to think of it, this one collects this one in Musina, this one collects this one in Mtata, this, and it's a lot of money.
So it's crowdfunding?
Not crowdfunding. You go to individuals to ask for support. You go to sympathizers to ask for support.
Yeah.
At the beginning, when you are not in Parliament, you get nothing from Parliament or the IEC.
Yes.
You don't get anything. The quickest way to deal with a political opponent is to send SARS to that political opponent.
Okay.
Because it doesn't matter how good your auditor might be.
Yes.
They will always find
a
something.
loophole,
Yes. And then the second one is the NPA, charge with no intention to win, but just have the dark cloud hanging over his head. So that's what they do. But if you know that none of this is true, you will not be shaken by these things, because in South Africa, we've got a law. They might try to tamper with it, but the laws are there in South Africa, and some judges still have conscience. So we fought them. I went to, one day I was driving to, I don't know where I was going at Greyston, and I saw the emblem of an insurance company, I forgot the name now. And it looked very familiar, man. So I drove inside there. Remember, they took everything from me.
Yeah.
And then I made a plan. I bought a second-hand or fifth-hand or seventh-hand Mercedes-Benz C180 for 90,000. For 90,000, so I'm driving. I go into Sandton. I see a sign there, so let me drive in. So I take out my ID. I say, I'm here to collect my money. They say, okay, bring your ID. They check. But now you've got this money. You know when they were doing that thing of World Cup?
Yes.
So they said we must save money. When World Cup comes, we can afford to buy tickets.
Yeah.
So I saved that money for World Cup, but never got to use it during World Cup because I was a VIP. So I didn't need to buy a ticket. So I forgot that there is such a money that I saved for World Cup. Then I was saving money, apart from that, saving money with that institution.
Yeah.
So that money I'd saved almost 350,000.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, and then they transferred it immediately. And then when they transferred it immediately, I left, I went to my landlord. I transferred the money for the rental for the whole year.
Yeah.
And I said to Floyd, if we are going to fight these people, we can't fight them from Malamulele. We must be here. So we're going to pay rental the whole year. We stay in Joburg and we fight with them.
Yeah.
And then we paid rental It's a girl called Oma who came, found the house like this, empty. Said, no, look for some money, I'll go and buy furniture, what. So I gave her money. She went to buy some furniture, what. Then we're fine.
That's crazy.
So, but my bedrooms were solid. And you know what saves my bedrooms? These guys are coming to take the furniture from my house. Then they don't go to the bedroom. The first one comes, he says, hey, we can't go to your bedroom, your wife is sleeping. That time I'm not married, I don't have a wife.
Yeah.
No, you can go, there's no problem, there's no wife. This one says, no, yeah, let's go. He says, there's no wife. Hey, chief, you didn't hear what this guy is saying.
Yeah.
He says when the wife is sleeping, you can't go that side. What are you want to see a naked? You want to see a naked? There are two white people.
Yeah.
No, Mr. Maga, don't do that, man. Don't do that. Oi, you want to see? They said when the wife is there, you don't go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you done? But yeah, we're done. Out. And then they left. That's how I saved my bedroom.
Yeah.
Yeah. They couldn't go in because that one gave me something I didn't know.
Yeah.
When there is a woman inside,
yeah,
they don't go.
Yeah.